Hello, and thank you so much for participating and joining in on this live telebroadcast that I try to publish every week. This telebroadcast is going to be a message on relationships and marriages, the way I see relationships and marriages. This is not the law, or this is not the way everyone else thinks relationships and marriages should be. But everyone has their own opinion, everyone has their own views, everyone has their own thoughts. These are my thoughts, my opinions, and my views. If you decide you want to listen to this here message, you're more than welcome to listen to this message. If you like some things that I say in this message and you want to apply them to your life, you can apply these things to your life. But if you don't like the things that I say inside this message, it's entirely up to you not to listen. Now, like I said before, I try to keep my telebroadcast messages to a minimum of 10 minutes, no more than 10 minutes. Sometimes they do actually go over. But like I said before, this message is dealing with relationships and marriages the way I see them. So keep in mind to accept this message with an open mind. Don't have a closed mind when you listen to this message, because you might not retain the information that you need to retain. Keep an open mind with this here particular message, because this message it has a lot of detail inside of it. It has a lot of content inside of it. So you take the content that's for you and only for you. And the message that I'm going to present to you, I'm going to present part of the message to you. I'm not going to go into the beginning of the message. So this is only part of the message, because it's a very, very, very long message. And if you have any questions about this message, or have anything you want to say to me, you're more than welcome to inbox me. Enjoy the message. See, we make relationships and marriages very complicated. On our relationship status, on our wall, on our Facebook page or Instagram account, we have the word complicated. Rather than having a relationship there, rather than having someone's name there, we have the word just complicated. When someone asks you, are you in a relationship? You're saying it's complicated. There's nothing complicated. The only thing that's complicated is you. It's either you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship. It's either that someone loves you or someone don't love you. It's either you love somebody or you don't love anybody at all. There's no such thing as being complicated inside a relationship. The only thing that's complicated, like I said before, is you. So stop chasing after hopes. Stop chasing after these pipe dreams, so that one day someone could chase after you, or that you could be found. But if you keep on chasing after people and thinking that what you're involved in is complicated, then no one's going to chase after you. You're going to say, well, this person is not in a complicated relationship. The person that wrote the word complicated is the one that's complicated. Instead of allowing ourselves to experience true happiness, we think of 1,000 reasons why we should experience true sadness, or 1,000 reasons why we should remain sad. We shouldn't have to be sad. We think about what we've been through rather than looking forward to the things that we should experience. We think about why it's so hard. We think about what our friends experienced. We think about whether or not we will even make it before we even try. And that's sad. When you think that you're not going to succeed before you even try, you should give it a chance. Don't think about the things you've been through and expect that you're going to go through the same things that you already experienced. We think the worst before we think of the best. We think that things are going to be bad before they be good. We are pessimistic about what we hope for and optimistic about the things that we've been through. Relationships are not that difficult. It's the people that participate in relationships that make it difficult. Most of the times, we replace our adversities with people. And on the other hand, we substitute our relationships with desires. As we approach a certain age in our life, we look for everything of value and what we can gain. We want to know what a person drives. Do they live in a house? Are they employed? What kind of job do they have, or what kind of job did they have? Are they getting a retirement? Do they have a pension? Do they have a 401 with stock options? And in some cases, some people even want to know how much money another person have in the bank, which is none of your damn business. Excuse my French, But it's none of your business how much money a person has, or in that case, if they have any money at all. Well, let's say this. Let's say this right here. Let's say that everything that you actually wanted in a person is there. Okay? Everything I just mentioned. But what will you do if their car have gotten repossessed? What are you going to do if they have to file for bankrupt? What are you going to do if their house have went into foreclosure, or is they going into foreclosure? And what are you going to do if they have gotten laid off from their job with some sort of severance package that's very, very, very small, or that's very unfair, and everything starts going downhill? The question is, are you going to jump ships that have better benefits, or are you going to stay on a ship that you was on that already have the benefits that you could work on? Are you going to try to stick in there, or are you going to try to just run away as fast as you possibly can? We enter relationships under false pretenses with a vicarious disposition. Relationships are conjoined with similar vicissitudes as common marriages, with anticathexis mood swing. It's not the big thing we do in a relationship or a marriage that matters. It's the small things and the consistency behind the little things that we do that really matters. You really think your wife is happy because you bought her a big house that she feels like she is kept hostage in? You very rarely tell her how beautiful she is. You rarely reassure her that you love only her. You leave her in the house while you go hang out with your friends. You don't remember the small things you did to get in the first place. The only things you remember are the things that everyone else acknowledges, like a Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, birthday, Christmas Day, or the 1 year anniversary. How do you think your wife feel, man? How do you think that your girlfriend feel or your wife feels? She cooks for you, she cleans for you, she takes care of the kids, she washes the clothes that come off your musty, dirty body, and she do things you don't want to do, or the things that you don't know how to do. What do you appreciate from your girlfriend or your wife? Huh? Ask yourself a question. What do you appreciate from your girlfriend or your wife? And I'm not talking about those crazy couples neither. I'm talking about straight couples, men and women, females and males, not in those same-sex marriages or those same-sex couples. I'm not talking to y'all. So if you listen to you in a same-sex relationship, this is something you don't want to listen to. What do you think? What do you appreciate from your girlfriend or your wife? Do you appreciate that she even takes time out to understand you? Do you appreciate that she is just an emotional or physical punching bag? Do you appreciate that you can treat her like a piece of property? Do you appreciate that you can step all over her feelings and her emotions? You want her to feel inferior just so that you could feel superior? When was the last time you did something just because? When was the last time you sacrificed your time just to spend time with your wife or your girlfriend? No one ever said that marriages or relationships are going to be easy and that they were going to be filled with happiness all the time. But at least invest a little time in your relationship. At least invest a little bit of time with your family. At least invest a little bit of time in something that you have already instead of trying to chase after something that you don't have. Some of your friends, or some of your so-called friends, or family members, or co-workers, do not want to see you happier than them, especially if they're miserable. The old saying is, misery loves company. So the objective is to see you as miserable as they are. All they want to see and all the thing they want to talk about is how someone treated them bad in their relationship or their previous marriage. Or tell you a bunch of horror stories they experienced. How a person committed infidelity, how a person committed adultery, or how they were mentally or physically abused. So what you was mentally abused, so what you was physically abused, so what someone went through a little bit of adultery, a little bit of infidelity. That doesn't mean that you have to throw in the towel. You throw in the towel because you want to throw in the towel. There's relationships that's already been through that stuff, but they figured out a way to work through it. Oh, you think you too good and you can't work through something? You think that your marriage or your relationship is going to be perfect? Of course your boyfriend's going to cheat. Of course your girlfriend's going to cheat. But how are you going to deal with it after they cheat? No one ever said that relationships was going to be perfect or a marriage was going to be peaches and cream. If your marriage or relationships did not work out for you, so be it. Don't go around raining on someone else's marriage. Keep your problems and your experiences to yourself. Stop being a complainer, telling people that you've been somewhere and you already done that when you haven't even done anything or been anywhere. You know, when some people say, well, I've been there and done that. You ain't been there and done that. You think just because you wore an engagement ring or a wedding band for over a decade or under a few years that you can give someone advice or tell someone about your experiences? No, you can't tell someone about your experiences or give someone advice. You've been married for a little under 10 years, 8 years, 5 years, and you think that's doing something. That's not the beginning of doing anything at all. You just starting out and doing something, and you gave up before you finished. So if you have not even finished the marriage process, you keep your mouth shut. You go somewhere and sit down. You shut up. You miserable, and you just want someone to be miserable right along with you. Stop trying to sabotage other people's relationships, and stop trying to kill other people's marriages. Matter of fact, if you're married, don't even hang around single or unhappy couples, because according to the law of attraction, you attract what you're around. And sometimes when you get to where you want to be, the critics and the naysayers and your enemies, they envy and despise you and hate you for being there. They want to see you fail the same way they failed. They want to see you unhappy and miserable the same way that they are unhappy and miserable. And when you're still standing, they hate you even more with a fake smile. Meanwhile, they're talking behind your back. They hate the happy moments you post on your Facebook status, your Instagram page, anywhere else you put your pages of happy moments. Every now and again, you will hear them throw a little curveball at you, or a sly remark, or make a slick comment. But don't be fooled. They mean it. They mean every single word that they said. You just can't see it yet. They hope down in the core of their soul that you fail and taste the same portion of misery that they're experiencing. But meaningful relationships and successful marriages aren't for everyone in a way. Because if they knew what a person had to go through, they would not endure anything that they've been through, because they don't want to experience the same exact things that they have already endured. Many people just want everything easy. Instead of investing the time, they search for clues. They want to do an all-outright background check, listen to what other people say rather than find out the information on their own. And the judgment of their decision is based on what they never ever took the time to understand. A lot of people assume that what they've been through is what you will go through. They pointed their failures with the intentions of making and placing doubt inside of your mind. But you don't listen to what they say. Matter of fact, you try to get away from them. But that's the objective of failure, which is the opposite of success. If you place failure in front of success, then you will experience the failure before success. But if you place success in front of failure, then you will experience the success, and failure will become an option that you can either choose to accept or reject. It all starts from how you think and what you truly seek in your life. Are you seeking true love? Someone to understand you? A person to love you for the rest of your life? A companion to share special moments with? Are you seeking a person that possesses the things we lust after, such as fame, wealth, or popularity? Are you seeking them because of their position of power, or how much power they have? What is the real reason you're seeking after someone? Is it because your biological clock is ticking and you're running out of time? Is it because you're lonely and you don't want to be lonely anymore? Is it because you want to make the person that you always wanted to be with jealous because they don't want to be with you? Are you with someone just to show the rest of your friends that someone is into you, or that someone is caring about you when they really don't care about you? These are all... My, what a powerful, powerful message on relationships and marriages. It's all up to us. We are the ones that hold the clues and the keys to our relationships. It's not about our relationship or marriages being complicated. It's how complicated we want our marriages to become. Everything starts with us. And if we don't make our relationships complicated or our marriages complicated, marriages or our relationships will not be complicated. We have to put the step forward. We have to put the work in. We have to show that we want our relationships and our marriages to work. We can't expect our relationships and our marriages to go well all the time. There's going to be some bruises. There's going to be some bumps. There's going to be some trials. There's going to be some tribulations. There's going to be things you're going to go through. But when you go through these things, you have to go through these things with victory. You can't go through these things holding your head down, thinking that it's the end of the world. The things that we go through is not the things that we are going to continue to go through. Things will get better. But until next time, you take it easy, and we will talk to you another time.